So I'm Mary, and I manage our paid media team, and I'm also part of the data science team, helping develop our software solution. And today I'm going to discuss trends in the paid and email channels. And just to set the stage, while the SEO and referral channels are highly effective for acquiring relevant traffic, the work is often a long-term play. And paid and email can be a lot more flexible, offering the ability to test and make changes quickly. So there's a really good balance between them. And there's a couple key trends I want to hone in on first for paid. So paid is becoming a space that brands simply have to be in, with more and more ads showing at the top of search engine results and dominating Facebook feeds. It's a battle to capture eyes and acquire the traffic. And one way to gain some competitive advantage is to utilize insights from first-party data to amplify your performance on paid platforms. So first-party data is simply data that you can get directly from your prospects and customers, from your site behavior, the campaign they came in on, order data, essentially what Google and Facebook don't own, only your own data. And so much of paid ads is becoming automated. Insights from first-party data can become a powerful lever to help you feed the automation with the best possible info to achieve your target ROI. And second, there's an increasing focus on looking past metrics that are easily reported in paid platforms, like return on ad spend, and focusing on profitability and lifetime value to understand the true value of ads to your business and better define what your ideal KPI should be. So jumping back into our first trend and why first-party data is so important, automation in pay-per-click ads isn't new, but it will continue to play a more and more critical role. So from smart bidding strategies based on machine learning algorithms to dynamic ad copy, paid platforms are increasingly moving towards automated features for some of the historically most time-consuming aspects of paid work. And ultimately, this is leading to highly effective and efficient ad campaigns, but it does remove some of the levers that marketers can pull and limits how we can differentiate from competitors unless we're using our own unique data. In addition, privacy policies and data limitations for digital data are steadily increasing on a global scale. Everyone's familiar with GDPR in Europe to the California Privacy Act here, and most recently, Apple's new iOS change that automatically opts users out of tracking, forcing platforms to ask users to opt in, which could be a nightmare for Google and Facebook if data they're used to collecting to feed their algorithms starts disappearing. And online privacy protections are likely only going to get more strict. So cue first-party data. If we have data on our own prospects and customers and the ability to surface and leverage insights from it, it can be a huge competitive advantage as automation and privacy policy continue to change this landscape. And so we wanted to share a few examples of our first-party data usage on Facebook with our client MeatEater. And you may recognize the MeatEater brand from their popular Netflix show or as the #1 hunting podcast. But MeatEater is an incredible content and apparel company, and we've seen some really great success in Facebook ads using insights from both their customer and product sales data. So first, using our lifetime value model, we surfaced MeatEater's most valuable customers to build a lookalike audience campaign. And as you can see from these results, not only was the return on ad spend very high compared to typical rates, which can be anywhere from 4 to 10. You spend $1, you make 4. But we also saw a 22% increase compared to one of Facebook's generated past purchaser lookalikes. So even though the lookalikes were both built off previous customers, the more targeted list of highest value individuals actually led to a higher return. And second, we took a look at MeatEater's gateway products, or the items most frequently purchased by first-time customers, and tested featuring the item to new audiences. And so the gnome packing out a unicorn tea, which you see pictured here, is a really iconic product for the MeatEater community. And for this test, we saw a 13% increase in return on ad spend featuring this tea compared to ads featuring non-gateway items. And so those are just a couple of ways we've leveraged product and customer data on Facebook, and we've seen a lot of success with similar tactics across our portfolio. Moving on to our second trend, when it comes to measuring success on paid platforms, this really does have to align to your overall business goals, whether that's top-line revenue, profitability, new customer acquisition. But regardless, what we are seeing is a shift from utilizing traditional key performance indicators, such as return on ad spend, to a bit more insightful metrics like profit, which provides a better view into the true contribution of ads to your bottom line once you've accounted for your cost of goods. And this can then help you better identify what performance targets you need to set in the platforms to actually be profitable. However, we also want to take into consideration the lifetime value of your customers, because even if you aren't profitable on that first purchase, you may end up being profitable over the customer's lifetime and therefore be willing to spend more to acquire a new customer than what the profit metrics are telling you. And so the key is analyzing both profit and LTV on a regular basis to identify that ideal customer acquisition cost and then pushing that value as the performance target in paid platforms. And it's a journey to dial this in, even for large enterprise companies, but it's worth the effort. And pro tip, Google Ads just released the ability to bid differently based on whether or not someone is a new or returning customer, which is a total game changer. And so we'll be sure to include some info on that post the conference. So to recap, what we recommend doing is ensuring you're collecting first-party data, analyzing it to surface key insights like your most valuable customers, and then feeding paid platforms with that info. So regardless of what changes may come with automation, privacy, or anything else, you've already been building that competitive advantage on your own. And then finally taking it a step further by looking at metrics beyond return on ad spend to help identify what performance targets will best serve your long-term company goals. And as an aside for any chief marketers, chief marketing officers out there or aspiring ones, according to Deloitte, only 26% of CMOs are regularly invited to board meetings. So without understanding some of these impactful financial metrics on a deep level, the access to influence will likely always remain low. And so this makes it vital to build out capabilities here to have a respected seat at the table.